The mystery of the lost children in the Amazon. The unexplained disappearance. It was supposed to be just another ordinary day in the forest. A small indigenous community, isolated in the vastness of the Amazon, was going about its daily routine when something unusual happened. 4 children mysteriously disappeared. There were no screams, no tracks, no clues. Just the silence of the jungle and a growing sense of anguish among the villagers. Who could have taken the children? Or had the forest, with its dark secrets, decided to swallow these innocent souls? The search begins. The villagers, guided by desperation, formed search groups. Armed with flashlights, machetes, and the courage that only love can offer, they entered the forest. But the jungle seemed to close in with every step, muffling the cries of those searching. The tracks were few and confusing. What no one expected was that, deep in the heart of the forest, something much larger seemed to be watching every movement. Clues or traps? Days later, a piece of fabric was found caught in a branch, along with small footprints in the mud. But the footprints led nowhere. It was as if the children had vanished into thin air. There was something strange, something that defied logic. Could it be that they weren't alone? Fear began to erode the community's hope, while the forest continued to challenge their courage. The mysterious night call. On one of the search nights, one of the villagers reported hearing children's laughter in the distance, coming from a dense area of the forest. Others, however, swore they heard an ancient, almost hypnotic song echoing through the trees. Could it be the children? Or something else? Torn between hope and terror, the villagers decided to follow the sound, even though they didn't know what awaited them. Old legends reborn. The elders of the village began to speak of the region's legends. Forest spirits, known as Kiruparas or Encantados, who protected the jungle and, sometimes, punished those who trespassed in their domain. Was the community paying for some ancestral wrongdoing? Or was it just a story told to scare the younger ones? Meanwhile, time was running out, and the possibility of finding the children alive was shrinking. The encounter with the unexpected. As they ventured deeper into the jungle, the search groups found something they never expected, objects that didn't belong to the forest. An old radio, urban shoes, and a makeshift cabin. Who could have brought these items there? And why? Suddenly, the search for the children seemed to intersect with an even more frightening mystery. Dark revelations. As they investigated the cabin, they noticed signs that someone had been there recently. But the discoveries were interrupted by the sound of quick footsteps and muffled laughter. When the men stepped outside, they spotted something in the distance, a child, motionless, staring at them from between the trees. As they approached, the child vanished without a trace. What was happening there? The forest's testimony. A village shaman was called to intervene. In a ritual under the moonlight, he claimed that the children were alive, but in a kind of world between worlds, guarded by something ancient and powerful. He also warned that, to bring them back, a sacrifice would be required. But who would be willing to risk their life to save the children? The price of truth. With the ritual completed, the villagers finally found a concrete trail. However, it led them to a place no one expected, an old, abandoned mining site, overtaken by the forest. There, they finally heard voices, the voices of the children. But as they drew closer, they realized that something or someone was protecting them. The confrontation that followed would forever alter the fate of the community. The return. In the silence of the jungle, the children were found alive, but visibly changed. They didn't speak of what they had seen, only drawing strange symbols on the walls of their homes. The community, though relieved, now carried the weight of what they had faced in the forest. There were many questions, but the biggest one remained: what did the jungle really hide? The forest seemed quiet, but everyone knew it never forgets.